My peoples, did I plan this? No. So why are we here? Why am I alive? Because a friend of mine, he keeps doing something that is shameless. We are tired. We want to talk about Man United. And before we get into this, people, and I bring my guests on, let's set the ground rules, people. First of all, you have to like the stream because this is impromptu. You have to share this out so that other people can come back because what just happened is criminality. And then the second rule on my channel, anyway, nobody's opinion is more right than others. We will listen to each other, we will talk, maybe we might fight, but you are out to have your own opinion. Without further ado, I'm gonna bring people in as they come in. I'm gonna start with Riri. Shout out to Riri. Welcome to my channel, Riri.
Hey, Vegeta. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming because Bots is doing crazy stuff.
Bots has been moving crazy with these endings of these shows. Like, I don't even know what's going on with this guy. Like, he doesn't even tell the people like and subscribe. Like, he's just, I don't know. I don't know what kind of bandaloo kind of YouTuber Bots is, bro.
Bots always says hello, but he never says goodbye to us. I'm
It's
upset.
embarrassing.
I'm
It's a disgrace. That's what it is, a disgrace.
And I'm sure he's hiding right now. He ended the channel stream and then he just left. This guy, Bots, you better join this, you know? You better join this, bro. I know you watch my channel, bro. You better join this because we were having a proper conversation about Man United. Difficult conversation, Riri.
It
Because
was, it
what
was,
happened?
it was very difficult, but it was also very good conversation. So I'm not sure what the situation is with bots. Like, I don't know why bots. I don't know if he has to go back to work or what the deal is.
But he needs
You
to learn how
know.
to host. Like if you need to leave, you can say, guys, listen, we need a part two. We'll come back and then greet your people. That's it, Riri.
Yeah,
That's how
yeah,
you do it
yeah.
on
I,
YouTube.
I, Vegeta, I am with you, man. I don't know what this man is doing. He's just, and this is not the first time he's done it.
And I barely got an opinion in. Like I called in just to get the stream in. I don't know
I
what's going
know.
on there.
So you tell me what you were going to say because you heard what I said. So
Hey, it got heated, people. For people who don't have context, go to the criminals channel called Football Power Hour. Watch part one. This is part two. What I was going to say, if people gave if people gave me a chance, is personally this whole Darth Vegeta thing, the jokes, guys. Like I don't want to fire Ruben, contrary to popular belief. Yes, I said Ruben out, but that's because of the crackheads that keep pushing us to corners. I don't like it. My
right,
opinion is my opinion. I
right.
feel like I can love Ruben and criticize him because it's the same
Of
with my kids,
course,
right?
of course.
I criticize my kids when they do weird stuff, but they're still my kids. I must still feed them. I must still love them. I must show up for them. It's my kids. So Ruben is my manager. And the one thing I wanted really when the season started, I said, Ruben, survive by all means necessary. Get to the summer because we can't really do anything in January. I don't know where Doctor was coming with 8 signings in the summer, in the
Yeah, I don't,
January window.
I don't. But the 8 signings in the summer, I wasn't as flabbergasted as when she said 8 in January. I
In
was like,
January, I said, Doctor, come on. We barely make one sometimes. We are lucky if we get a loan. Do you get what I'm saying? Now you want
yeah,
eight.
yeah, yeah,
Nah,
yeah, for
nah,
sure,
nah,
for
nah,
sure.
nah, nah. But I was just saying that me personally, I want to be able to criticize Ruben, and people need to understand that criticizing doesn't mean I'm Ruben. In fact, I don't like this whole in and out thing because why? I don't hire Ruben, so why should I have a say in firing him? I can have an opinion about him and what he's doing, but I shouldn't be pushed to say no, he must stay because now people are saying things that don't make sense for the sake of keeping him, or they are saying things for the sake of getting rid of him. So
But
people are going on
that is
two
why I was
extremes.
saying that is where the agenda criticism comes in. Not the positive critique, but the agenda criticism. So there's two types of criticism. You can have very constructive criticism, which is something that I know you do, and I respect that of you. And then you have the ones that just have a full blown agenda criticism, and you know
It's nasty
start to
work.
compare us to teams like PSG and what's not. It's just
Yeah, that was a bit crazy. And also, the one thing I wanted to say, I really, and I don't know if you agree with me, I'm kind of tired of when we are buying players, we want to buy players that get into other teams. Our situations are not the same. We need to start learning how to buy for us. It
Oh
doesn't
yeah,
matter what other
I
people
agree.
around us are doing because Liverpool are league champions. Disgusting to say so, but it's true. So I can't plan the strategy of my club around what they are doing because they're in a different place from us.
But
We are trying.
that is why I sort of crashed out, because I'm tired of the comparison thing. Like I don't, I'm a very individualistic individual. Like I don't like to walk in a party and I'm wearing the same outfit as three other people. Like that's not me. I like to be unique in how I carry myself. So if I'm gonna say this for my team, I would like to your point, my team to be unique. I don't want my team to pattern themselves off of a Arsenal or a Liverpool or you know, or a Newcastle I don't want that. I want us to be unique in the players that we have. I want people to actually look at us and say, "Oh, we want those players that Man U has," not the other way around.
Facts. And I don't think in the past when we were winning, we were signing players saying, but what if Arsenal wants them? It was just a matter of do they fit us and what we would do. We were minding our own business. But
No,
now
of
because
course.
now we're thinking, we're looking at what is my neighbor doing? They built the wall to be pink. I also want a pink wall. But it's like, it's your house. Why do you also want a pink wall? It's your house. And mind you, your house needs more than just the wall. You've got other problems to fix. They're just doing touch
Exactly.
ups.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
that narrative for me, it kind of pisses me off
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah. No, I'm not for it either. That's why I like I said, that's why I had a mini crash out, because I'm so tired of the comparisons and the what's nots. Like, bro, them beating the the four English teams in Champions League, as opposed to playing
in the Premier
Premier
League.
League teams week in and week out, it's a different, it's just different.
Mhm.
It's just different. It's different. A knockout competition is way different than a league. Like you in a league and you seeing these teams week in and week out. It's just different, man. And I don't know if some people don't understand that correlation, or they just refuse to see or accept that correlation because it doesn't fit into their narrative of what they want or the point they're trying to get across. But yeah, I can't get down with that. I'm not with that.
Do you know what it is? I think, and I've said this in past streams, I think people have a disease, and I call it a disease, where they want to be right at all times. So they give their opinions as if it's make or break, as if they are wrong, the world will end. And I always say to people, caveat, I'm a human being. I don't expect that every opinion I have will be true. I might have negative feelings towards Ruben now because I can't judge the future. I can only judge now. But then
Right.
the summer happens, we have the right signings, and then Ruben turns it around. Then my opinion's gonna change in that circumstance to say, oh, look, I was wrong. And I
Right.
feel like people need to leave room for that because it for me that's exciting to live life like that way, to be open to surprises. You get what I'm saying? Like
No,
some people are
I hear you. I hear you. I hear you.
doom and
I,
gloom.
I,
Are we
I
gonna lose to Tottenham? I'm like, guys, no. There's still
yeah,
a
the
possibility.
pessimism, that's what I was saying on the show earlier. It's so toxic with the negativity and the pessimism of the fan base. Like, you know, we haven't even kicked a ball yet, and people are already saying, "Oh, we're going to lose to Tottenham because we lost to them three times already." I don't see how that again. I don't see how that correlates. You know, I don't see how that correlates. Every game it's its own game. Every game it's its own individual game. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I don't understand the correlation. And like I said on the other show, the how I am going to look at him differently is if we go into that match and Tottenham bops us off the park rather than us giving a competitive game. I can
Mhm.
live with us putting up a competitive game and playing, you know, great or good football and taking it to Tottenham and possibly, you know, it end up we go in the pens and you know we get we get beat on pens or whatever the case may be, or even if the game is close and you know, coming down to the end, Tottenham have a good play or a good strike, you know, like because this is football, things like that will happen. You know,
Exactly.
you cannot say they won't, but if we go in that game and Tottenham is just like literally kicking us around the ring, you know, then that I have a problem with, because that means something's wrong there. Because you played
Mm,
these guys 3 times, you should have countless videos to look at to see how they play, what their formation is, how they attack XYZ, and be able to, in the next week and a half,
form a plan.
translate that onto the practice pitch. You
Yeah,
know what I
yeah,
mean? That, for
yeah.
me,
No,
that's how I see it. I
for
mean,
sure, for sure.
it might be a little naive, I don't know, but that's just logic for me.
For sure. Can I ask you, when you look at people like Pev, right, who are saying firmly, not me who's joking, that they are that manager out, can you see where he's coming from? Because I feel like a lot of the times,
I definitely can, because like I said to Pav makes his case very well. Pav doesn't have an agenda. Pav is one of those fans that just wants to see wins. Like, he wants to see wins, he wants to see goals. That's the kind of fan that Pav is. And you have to meet Pav where he's at.
hmm,
If you're not winning as a manager for his team, then he doesn't want you in his as the manager of his team. And that is his bottom line. And you have to respect that. That, at the end of the day, that's Pav's bottom line. If you're not winning for my team, I don't want you as a manager for my team. There's no hidden agenda there. There's no, he says it. He says, if you're not winning, you're not putting points on the board. You're not, that's what I'm looking for. He tells
hmm,
you what he's looking for. So you can't be upset with that. I can't be upset with that. And that's fair. If that's what you're looking for, then yes, definitely this manager has failed you immensely. For
and
sure.
I think when I started criticizing Ruben, it was from the perspective that, like, I like to listen because I feel like I learn more about what people feel and what they're about from listening rather than talking. Because if I'm talking, these are not working. I can just hear myself. And a lot of the times when people are criticizing Ruben, it just feels like there's a core. And I want to say a core because I don't want to paint people with the same brush. That's another mistake this social media age thing has done to people.
Yes.
We just brush everybody with the same thing just because
Very
we
broad
might
strokes. Very
sound
broad strokes.
similar,
Yeah.
but we're not on the same page necessarily. So there's a core of people who would attack a Pev, despite having valid, I don't know, feelings towards the manager about how he feels, and make it seem like Ruben hasn't performed poorly at any stage. And I'm like, let's talk about that for a second. Because why do you feel like we can't talk about Ruben? We understand that these players are fundamentally criminals. We all know this. We've got eyes. We see these people every week. We all get pissed. That's
Right.
why our channels exist, because we want a place to express ourselves. So we're not
Right.
blind to the fact that the players are crap. We're not blind to the fact that the owners have failed us. Um, we know those things, but we need to have the ability to have that in the back of our minds and have a different conversation. In this case, maybe the manager. And I just came in as a person to say, hey guys, let's maybe look at the season in its entirety. Because obviously, if you're going to look at the Europa, fantastic, we're unbeaten. But Ruben, when he was managing, wasn't just managing in the Europa League. And when you look at the other fixtures, whether it's the league or FA Cup, then it doesn't print a pretty picture. And then you have to say, okay, maybe Pev is looking at that. And that's why he feels the way he does. But then people want to say, no, but your manager out. I'm like, why? How? In all that I just said, I walked you through a journey. Why must I be manager out just for us to have this conversation? It's ridiculous. And I
Right.
feel it's a social media, and I say this as a YouTuber, which is weird, but I just feel like maybe shock or value, or people just want to be popular in the comments, or I don't know if they're serious about these conversations or they just want to be funny. It feels that way.
Yeah, I am not. I am. That's why today, when the young lady said what she said in the chat, I was like, But I don't think that's what I was trying to say at any point in time. So I was very, I was very put off by it because I'm very clear in how I say what I say. I'm very, I think about what I want to say before I say it. I mean, until somebody like gets me upset and then I just go off. But for the most part, I think about what I want to say, and I'm very conscious of what I say because, again, social media,
Mhm.
it's recorded, it's there for evidence, it's there for, to look back on. And yeah, I, I think this man, I've been saying it for time since this conversation started in March
Mm.
about whether this guy should go or stay or whatever. I've been saying that this guy needs at least one window to get some players in, get some players out, and then when he starts the season, if by the end of September, which we should be what, 5 games in, 6 games in by then,
Yeah,
if by then we still looking
shaky.
shaky, then yeah, we need to bring an interim in because he's obviously not the guy. And I've said that. I've definitely said that.
Mm.
That
Yeah,
anybody can hold me to that. That I can tell you, you can hold me to because I've said it.
I hear you. And you know what's crazy? For me to get to a point where people push me to say manager out, my opinion at the time was looking at the season. I, if I'm Ineos, if I'm putting myself in Sir Jim and Cole's shoes and what they've done. So that's another thing that people need to take into context. The evidence of what the person has done, because you have when you're judging people, you're judging them based on what you know about them, not on speculation. So based on
Right.
what these people have done, I thought, guys, let's not be surprised if they fire him. Am I saying they should fire him? No. But look what they did to a guy they said was their guy. What's his name? That guy from Newcastle, the Guardian League guy.
Wilcox.
No, not Wilcox, the other guy. He's English, the one who went to Southgate. Fuck, why do I forget this guy's name? He's a crackhead for wanting Southgate. Anyway, that guy was their guy. Like, sure, Jim
Oh,
was
the guy that
proud.
was on guard, the guy that was on garden leaves.
Yeah. Like, so Jim was proud. He was doing interviews. He's my guy. We got strategy. We see pictures of everybody. They fired him because they said this guy's doing nonsense. And everybody said, "Oh yeah, it's okay, it's cool. They're at least fixing the mistake early." So that's what I'm saying. It's not conventional to fire a manager after almost over half a season because it's not a full season. But Ineos moves in a way that's not conventional to begin with. So all I was saying to people was brace yourselves because there's what we want as the fans, and then there's what these guys are going to do. And if you want to continue living in La La Land rather than joining us in reality, you're gonna break TV, you're gonna break TVs like Ruben, is all I'm saying. Because they will shock you, these Ineos guys. That's what I've learned about them. These guys, nothing is off the table with Ineos. I mean, these guys will don't even want to put their people on planes. I don't know why people are shocked by that, by the way, because they fired most of their staff. All of a sudden, they're gonna put people on planes. That's why I'm like, guys, you need
Yeah,
to
no, that's
get
not
to
that's not
reality.
happening. Especially the amount, like Pav was saying, Tottenham flight out like what, 700 of their staff. There's no way Ineos is doing that. That's not happening at all.
Yeah, and I guess people are. You know what I said? I think ultimately, really, it boils down to this. All of us, to a degree, if you are a United fan, not the people who like Omo who wants us to lose things. I don't know
Yo,
what's
that
going on
guy
there.
is hilarious, bro. Like, he is so funny. He is so funny.
I will never want that for my club under any circumstance. But for genuine United fans, I think ultimately it's painful to see City winning a treble because that's our history. It's painful to watch City do a treble because that's what we did. It almost makes us irrelevant to a degree. Not that we're not an irrelevant club, but we can't talk about those things because now these people have done their 20, their trebles. So they've done what we've done. And to make matters worse, we are nowhere close to them if this was a boxing match. We can't spar with these people because of the sheer gap between us and them. And I think that negative thought, that realization is so cold, it's so sobering that we are lashing out at everything. That's what I've come to.
Yeah,
We all
that's why when the whole comment about elite, like if you still think, Vegeta, if you're a fan of this club and for the last 12 years you still think we're an elite club, you are definitely living in a fantasy world. Like
bugging,
you are legit living in a fantasy world.
bugging.
And I'm not even saying the last 2 years, I'm saying the last 10 to 12 years. We have not been an elite club.
I
We have
agree.
not done elite business.
I agree with you. And if Sir
So
Jim is serious, he also needs to agree with you, essentially, really.
no, of course. I don't live in this. I don't live in nostalgia. People talk about, you know, revisionism.
Hmm.
We do revisionism for the club itself. Every
Hmm.
time there's a conversation, oh, but Sir Alex's team would have done this, or the 92 team would have done. Bro, we are not the 92 team. We are not Sir Alex's 90s, the 90s. We're not that team. We haven't been that team for time. We haven't been that team.
Yeah,
We
I agree
weren't
with
even that team at the ending of Sir Alex's reign. We weren't that team.
you. Ooh. But you know what? I just think fundamentally the people running this, because me, I don't have 10 billion, guys. I don't know if people in the chat, shout out to Reckless One Charles. He's saying to you, Riri, we are elite in terms of size, not performance. I don't know
Who
if you
cares
understand
about
that.
size at this point? So size is gonna win us a trophy? Size is gonna get us up the table? Like I don't understand. Be realistic. What you using that as what? Bragging rights against who?
I think it's painful, like I said, because we are watching guys beyond our rivals. Oh, I don't even know if they see us as rivals at this point because everybody's just
They really
equal.
don't, Vegeta. I can tell you that. They don't.
I mean, Pep and
I'm in
Klopp are trying to
multiple
tell
group
us,
chats and they really don't.
yeah, because like Pep and those guys are trying to tell us that yeah, they've got a rivalry. Like they don't rate us at this point. But I think the reality that has to be faced, and I think this is where a rebuild thing makes sense, is that we need to know where we are to know where we need to be, or
Of
to know where
course.
we are going. We need to say, guys, there's no foundation. So let's forget about the toilet or the interior decorations or the garden. There's no house to live in. We are that poor in terms of the running of this club of this club. We're homeless, essentially. And these people want to offer us the circus to live in. That's how homeless we are. They'll put any shelter over our heads. So essentially, fans, I don't know if they'll ever do it, but the people who are spending our money, it's our club, need to say, no foundation. We need to rebuild a foundation. And that's why when we were saying marquee signings, I said, guys, we've been trying the marquee signing thing since Sir Alex Ferguson left. Is that a fair thing to say? We've been trying it.
Oh yeah,
And
definitely.
and it hasn't worked. And to try and keep doing the same thing over and over is ridiculous, is all I'm saying. We
But
fundamentally,
that's the epitome of insanity. They tell you that.
yeah, you
Doing
can't
the
keep
same
doing it.
thing over and over and over is the epitome of insanity.
Exactly. I'm not a coach, but I'm a logical person. Logic tells me if I can, our backline right now is comfortable, but we need extras because we need a foundation. We need people that every week, really, I need to be able to say, we're going to win the game because this person's going to do this and deliver this performance. That's
Right.
consistent. We don't even have that. People want marquee signings when we don't even have consistent signings. We don't have that. There's no consistency in this team. And I'm telling you, people will remember this. If they do the right business and we get consistency, never mind superstars, it will be a night and day switch because every week you're going to be surprised that your team is doing well. But that's what consistency is. It's showing up and doing the right thing repeatedly.
Right. No, you're right. You're definitely right. You're definitely right. I listen, I I've been looking at these guys side eye for that January situation that they put us in.
Mm,
Like they you can tell they want to get rid of the players that are on the books with big money. So they decided to push Anthony out. They decided to push Rashford out. Fair.
mhm.
Neither player was doing what they were supposed to do for the team anyway. So yeah. I'm sorry, I was getting a call. Can you
No
hear me?
problem. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, they pushed them out, which is fair. They weren't performing the way they should have been performing for the wages that they were on.
Mm.
However, I think this entire fan base thought at least we were going to bring in um one good signing this January.
Mhm.
But we bought two 17-year-olds or
Mm.
one 17-year-old and how old is Dorgu?
I think he's in his 20s, early 20s.
Early 20s.
Yeah,
You know what I
still.
mean?
Mm.
So I am looking at them really, really side eye and suspicious because if that's the case, oh, what are they gonna do in the summer?
I'm gonna have a controversial take right now. When I look at Ineos, a part of me thinks they are trying. Maybe they're not doing it the right way, but I genuinely think that unlike the Glazers, because when I compare their windows versus the Glazers' windows, the Glazers people was they always chased the shirt sales. That's what it always felt
Right,
like. It
right.
always it never felt like we were trying to fix problems. Like we didn't want to fix the fact that Carrick was getting old. I mean, how long have we been looking for six? We didn't want to
Bro,
fix.
we are yet to replace Carrick though, Vegeta.
You see what I'm saying? We didn't try to replace Rooney when he was getting old and trying to move on. We were bringing in Zlatan, who's a short term solution to a long term problem, essentially. So we never signed strategically. And when I look at this past summer, guys, I think the core players that were signed for Ten Hag in this team were not too bad. Euro showing us is slowly but surely there's a player there. De Ligt was a good signing, personally, before he got injured.
Right.
Mazarawi, we were all worried, injury prone.
Maserati
Yeah,
was a bargain. He was a full bargain. He's still a
exactly,
bargain.
exactly. But because we've got clowns in the team, like an Onana, and I saw this in my local team, I said, you can't have a bad goalkeeper and expect your center backs to perform because ultimately they are trusting the goalkeeper because they've got their backs turned to him and are trying to do their job. But if they have to keep worrying about him and what he does, it makes them look like they're not good
Right.
signings.
Yep.
You get what
You're
I'm
right.
saying?
You're right.
And people forget this. We signed good players, but we still had crap. And unfortunately, you can have a good plate of food, but if you dish it alongside doo doo, you are eating doo doo at the end of the day. Like, you know what I'm saying? We need to get rid of the waste.
But Vegeta, that comes back to my point that I made on the last show. In 2025, our backups to come off the bench is still Lindelof, Maguire, and Shaw. Those were the same guys that made David De Gea look ridiculous in goal
Mm. And
before
we
he left.
and we chased him out.
And we chased him out. Okay. Yes, he was on the decline. I am not saying, don't let anybody think I'm saying we should have kept him, whatever, but he was on the decline. But the defense that we had back then, I remember every fan was cursing our defense. Every
Yeah,
fan. Every fan wanted Harry gone. Every fan wanted Lindy gone. Shaw was injured more than he was playing. And that was a situation.
that guy is an England player more than a Man United player. It pisses me off.
You know what I'm saying? So if you look at it now, we're saying, oh, everybody's got the running joke. Oh, Harry should play on the wing. Harry should play up front because Harry's scoring goals in the Europe. But at the end of the day, when are we moving these players on? Like, when are we going to move them on? They've been They've been a part of this organization for time, and they've been crap for time.
I don't disagree with you, and I think this is why I wanted us to have this conversation before another brother kicked us out, because sorry, because we need to learn to face the music on these channels. Some things are, I mean, some things are just jokes, but some things are uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable to say we're not even better than Bournemouth. Why are we concerning ourselves with Liverpool? If we want to look at rivals, our rivals are the people who are 16 places and above us right now, technically speaking. We need to get over that hurdle. Like Ruben, I don't like the idea of we're aiming for sixth, but also I also have to take my own medicine and say, but reality needs me to be there. You get what I'm saying? It needs me to
Yep.
help me understand that there are 16 other teams ahead of me. And I need to find a way to move them out of the way so that I can see clearly at the guys who are at the top. So
Right.
we need to have more of these conversations on YouTube.
Of course,
It,
the uncomfortable conversations need to be had, but you also need people who are going to accept the uncomfortable conversations. There are some people who don't want to accept uncomfortable conversations. They just want to place blame on some. They have to find someone to blame, or else they can't have a conversation without a scapegoat, or they can't have a conversation without something to blame. Like you and I have we've been talking now for what, 30 minutes,
30 minutes. Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
we haven't like singled out one person to just pile all the blame on, because there's not one person to pile the blame on. It is a
Yeah.
collective. It is a definite collective. It is Ineos. It is, first of all, it's the Glazers. First and foremost,
Fair
it's the
facts.
Glazers.
We forgot about them
Second,
somehow.
second, Ineos, because now Ineos is now supposedly running the football operation part of the business.
Mhm.
Third, it's Amarim, because he is the current manager. And fourth, it's the players. And then I can even say six, it's the fan base, because the fan base is not realistic.
I'm glad you said that because this man that I've just brought into this chat, he's always, he's a Real Madrid fan, just for context, but he's always asking me, why is your fan base the way it is? Mr. Tamba, are you ready to have a conversation about the fan base?
Yeah, I'm ready, bro.
What do you feel about
Can
what
you
we
hear
said? Uh, yes, you just stand where you are. Don't move too much. Yeah. Because I think the network was moving with you, and yeah, the fan base. Because people got mad at me, by the way, when I tried to have the fan base conversation, and I'm serious. We need to start having a draft or a
can you
transfer
hear
from fans
me?
because I don't think some fans really want to see us happy. But anyway, let me not take away your time, Mr. Temba. Let's have this conversation about the fans. Oh, he's gone. The fans also need to be kept accountable because we've changed the not ownership, but we've brought new guys. We brought a new manager. Fundamentally, for me, really, personally, when I look at the situation, the only thing that hasn't changed is our stadium and the fans. Because the fans are still moving mad. And that's an uncomfortable conversation, but we must have it. Fans need to
Yep.
look at themselves in a mirror. Mr.
Bro,
Tamba, are you
Rita.
ready? I think he's ready. Go for it. Go for it. Go for it.
Big up to you, man. And big up to you. First of all, what I want to touch on is this, man. You said something that triggered me. I was watching. I don't have electricity. So the thing is this, man. You said something about this guy trying. And for me, that is where this thing of you as a fan base giving your owners excuses. I would say yes, they tried. The signing they made at the summer, they tried.
Mhm.
But where they missed it was this. Keeping Ten Hag was a stupid move. And
Fair.
the mistake started from there. You kept Tenag in a job. You gave him 300 million pounds to spend. You brought in a sporting director, of which at then was the best. He was after he was on gardening leave for 6 months, and he was sacked under 3 months. Whatever happened that made them sack him, we never knew. I know many people were making theories of he wanted to keep Ten Hag, he wanted to bring Southgate. We never knew what happened. Then you sacked Ten Hag, whereby you gave him 300 million pounds to spend, you sack him. Then you go bring in Amorim. Someone said, I want to come at the end of the summer, and you said it is now or never. Then in
Mm.
January, you guys decided not to back him. Instead, what you do, you signed you signed Patrick Dogo for 30 million. And when you look at that signing right now, doesn't make any sense to you because you could have just triggered the release clause for Alvaro Fernandez for 18 million. They spent 30 million on Dogo, and so far we have seen a couple player he is right now. I don't think they keep making mistake upon mistakes. Look at, if not because Amorim made the decision he made, he's paying for 30 staff member and their family. He's paying for them to go for the final from his pocket. Like how disgraceful is that to these guys? They care more about if they win the Europa, they want to do a barbecue at the Carlton State. What is this club turning into? And everything really says about the club, the mistakes, the fault, I agree with her. Just that for me, I think I'll put the fan base at number one. Because what I would say so is this, man. As much as I know Glazers and Enos are just taking the club to the ground, the fan base also just gives them the excuses. And these guys wins. They win because they know for sure, first of all, take it like this, Vegeta. Gyökeres, you get linked to Gyökeres, you get linked to Jonathan Tah. And Enos Glazers, they know very well that it is not happening. But they will not shut down that story. And yes, you will see some fan base, some fans still believe that yes, they are at a spot where they can get Gyökeres, they can get Osimhen, they can get Jonathan Tah. They are not realistic at all. They are not. Some of your families don't, they are not realistic at all. Imagine I was asking you, would you take 120 million for Bruno Fernandes? People were saying we cannot sell Bruno Fernandes, we cannot sell him. And someone was asking me who brings the 40 GA he gets. And I said, he's on corner kicks, he's on free kicks, he's on penalty. So tell me why won't he have 40 GA? It doesn't like your fan base, the way they think needs to change. Look at Madrid. We had a hell of a season. Like I did not say because Carlo Ancelotti, we played 5 trophies last season, we won 4. I didn't say because of the fact that yes, he won 4. I should say no, keep him. No, bro, it's time to go. And the entire fan base comes together to have one same voice. It's time to go. But with your fan base, I've seen that people love player than the club. The club comes second. Comes second. They love the player before the club because for me, I think you should love the club more. I said something. I said, Amorim needs to get rid of people. If it takes him to get rid of people that are influential, that does not suit his system, get rid of them. Because at the end of the day, you are not supporting United because of Bruno or Garnacho or Koimino. As long as they don't fit the system the manager want to play, get rid of them. And for me, I'll say it and I'll keep saying it. Bruno, Kobe, Garnacho does not suit this system. Let's forget the fact that these guys, they might be influential, they might be doing things, but the honest truth is they do not fit this system. If I was a United fan or I was Sergeant Rackley, I'll cash in on Bruno Fernandes, £120 million. You are never going to get that amount of money from anywhere for Bruno Fernandes because, in my own opinion, that guy isn't even worth £80 million. In my own opinion, I'm sorry. I will cash out on Garnacho, 60 million from Napoli. You are never going to get that again. As much as I love the kid, but it does not suit what the club is all about or in the direction they are going to. It doesn't. And this thing people tell you, these guys are broke, they don't want to spend money. Okay, yes, it's okay they don't want to spend money. How about selling players? Because I'll tell you, you will get 70 million for Kobe Mino, 60 million for Garnacho, £120 million for Bruno. How much is that in total? You've got 200 and something, around 220 or 230,000, 30 million already that you can use to spend, bring in Cooney and bring in Frimpong. Like it's crazy of how I see Jamie Frimpong going to Liverpool, whereas he has been linked to United for 2 solid years. And under Tanagi was linked to United. But right now, if there's a right back out there that can actually fit into what this system is all about, it's Jeremy Frimpong. How much is his release clause? 35 million euros. And somehow, United, the owners, are busy acting as if they are not seeing that deal.
They're not getting him. He's going to. Didn't they see something say he's going to Liverpool?
Yeah,
But
yeah, yeah.
really, it's just crazy. Because right now, you guys, they are making Liam Delap a priority striker, and they are saying they have confidence that he will choose United over Chelsea. Chelsea are also looking at the possibility of getting probably Gyökeres, and United are busy wanting to beat Chelsea to sign Liam Delap. I don't want to hear
Yeah,
anything anybody want to say. Liam Delap is nothing but I don't think there's any difference between the lab and what's his name, Rasmus. I do not think so. There's any difference. Honestly, for me, what I will say here is this, man. United are behind already. And it's funny whereby you have the lack of Arsenal right now. They are talking about bringing in Rodrigo, youth saying, Liverpool saying, talking about Rodrigo, and they are already, Arsenal have Zubimendi already. And United want to close up the gap already are basically for Liam Delap. We have seen some quality strikers that played for relegation teams and they still managed to score more goals than Liam Delap. They scored more goals. Charlie Austin played for Kipira, scored a lot of goals. So I don't know what the club is doing. Honestly, I don't just know what these guys are doing. But
and I think
the fact that they allow Amorim
yeah,
bring out his money from his pocket to pay for staffs, even after sacking about 80% of the staffs, they could not still afford them to pay. Oh my God.
I think that's why Riri's got beef with them, and I think that's why she puts them up there.
Yeah.
Because if you look at what you've been saying outside of the fans, the core issue is the head because it's rotten. These guys are doing weird things, for lack of a better word.
Yeah.
So I think let's hold it there, Timber, because if people are interested, it sounds like there's a lot more very difficult conversations to have. But I want to give SK, I don't know if let me bring SK in a chance to also have their opinion. I don't want to assume who go for it, SK.
Yeah, it was good.
What's happening, brother? What Man United opinion do you want to say with your chest? There is no wrong opinion here.
Um, I mean, I feel like for y'all, because I'm not a United fan, but like I'm subscribed to you, so I figured I should just try anyway. I feel like for you guys, um, I would say like it goes without saying, but like the Europa League final
Mhm.
is a must win, which is I know obvious, right? We already know that, but like for you guys, I think the type of signings you guys need to make, you guys are not as far off from getting back to at least being like a top four club as it feels like given your league position. I think if you guys can just get in a striker, um, you look at someone like Garnacho where he gets in a lot of good positions, but he can't convert. And then I think Mason Mount's been looking good for you guys in that midfield since he's actually been getting some minutes now. So like I think like I feel like it's weird. I think with all the injuries and stuff, there hasn't really been a good chance to really see how good this team is. But it's obviously going to be up to Amarim to do that. Like, how do you feel about that opinion?
I don't know. I think the pain for us makes it feel like it's so far away off. But it's interesting that you say that. I personally feel like because one, a lot of people are living for free, a lot. So
Hmm.
our squad is going to be very thin. Before we even start selling people. Also, I don't want to see a bloody bench where we've got two goalkeepers on the bench. That is very concerning to me. I don't know how Riri feels about that. The fact that we've got two
But
goalkeepers, it's
I
deep.
think that's why they're keeping Heaton, no?
Yeah, but have you ever? Do other teams have two goalkeepers on their list of substitutes? That's a bit weird.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that is on. Oh, that part. Oh, you talking about that? Yeah, I don't know what that is about.
Yeah, I'm just talking about in terms of our squad because SK is obviously saying the opposite of what we're saying.
Can I
They're
ask
not that far.
who SK supports?
Chelsea.
Mm.
Where does that come from, Riri? Elaborate.
No, because I mean, one, I don't know how long he's been supporting Chelsea. Um, and two, Chelsea's been on a madness lately with the way they've been spending money.
Oh
So
yeah, of course, yeah, yeah. I know, I know.
so it's very coming from a Chelsea fan, what he said earlier makes sense. What he's saying, but like they've been spending money on players they didn't even need.
Speaking of players, SK, why don't you want to keep Sancho, bro?
I was waiting for you to ask that question.
Walk on, brother. Like you took the problem. Don't bring it back. We don't want that child anymore. You adopted him.
Listen. You get your 10 mil, and you get. Listen, think about it this way: you get 10 mil. If you can sell Sancho for like 15, then you basically get the money back anyway.
No, but it was already done. Now we must go find other buyers. Why are you making our life difficult?
No, but think about it. Okay, if you can get 20 mil from someone and Chelsea pay like the 10 mil penalty fee, then technically you get even more money than you would have if Chelsea just bought it for 25. So everybody wins.
Really, do you trust them to get more money?
That's up to them. That's up to them to figure that out.
Do
That's
I
not.
do I trust Ineos to get more money for Sancho? I think I
Listen,
saw something in our group chat. They were saying something about Jose wants him at Fenerbahce.
I did see something about that as well, but
I don't know how true that is. What I was saying yesterday on another show that I was on yesterday, that conversation is like a topic of itself.
mm,
Like the fact that like okay, so let's look at it this way. Ruben has never had to deal with Sancho, so he doesn't know who Sancho is. He doesn't. He's never had to interact with him, right? We know for a fact he probably doesn't want Rashford back at the club.
yeah,
Um, Anthony definitely is going. So you have to also, and for those people who don't want Sancho back, myself included, have to also sit with the possibility
that
that
Sancho will be
if
good.
right, that if he doesn't, if they can't get a sale for him next, or not next, this summer, he is going to be a part of the squad and possibly a bench player, because I know for sure if he does, God forbid, but if he does have to stay, Amram is not playing him in front of Mount.
Oh, definitely. You saw the smile he gave Mount.
Yeah. So he's definitely going to come off the bench. Now, for Sancho, that kind of thing, is he going to want to be that kind of player that comes off the bench?
Nah, he's gonna want to start. Chelsea, man, should have just kept him. Look at
So
this. Now we're thinking about hypotheticals for no reason.
I mean, the thing with Sancho is I actually like Sancho. Like I think fundamentally he is a good player. Like I think
Vegeta, I'm
just
gonna jump off and jump right back on.
Go for it,
like
SK. You were
you
saying?
know, I think like on a fundamental level, like he's a good player. Like I think like his touch is good. He keeps the ball well.
Okay.
His dribbling's clean, right? Like he can strike a ball when he decides to do that. When he decides to actually do it once every 5 hours. So like there is like he is a good player. Like I even for Chelsea, I think he's a good player. The biggest issue with Sancho is one, like listen, this is the Premier League. If you don't have PNP, then like a lot of those other things that I say, a lot of those other things that I said, like is going to be diminished like off rip. Like if you look at someone like Anthony,
Hmm.
but there's a particular reason why he looks better in La Liga because the slower pace suits his play style better. Like even if you look at the first couple of games when he wasn't a meme for you guys, his first
Hmm.
goal for y'all against Arsenal, it was basically the same thing he's been doing for the last 2 months. You know, he gets that cut inside, he shoots, goes top corner, right? So
Hmm.
I just don't think the league suits Sancho's skill set. It is what it is. Which is probably why I wouldn't want to spend 25 mil on him. It's not just because I think he's like outright like bad.
Bad, yeah.
Um, but I think in terms of you guys, I think the thing that Amarin is gonna have to figure out, and part of this is gonna be recruitment, and part of this is gonna be him is bro, that builds up, bro. Y'all are too predictable. Y'all do the same thing every single time. And especially when you look at kind of the center backs that you guys use,
Hmm.
you know, you guys don't have like I think honestly, I think the blueprint for you guys in terms of what Amarim should want to look like should be Inter Milan, right? You like
Yeah.
because they obviously run like the back three as well. But you look at the way Inter build up, like they're way more fluid. Like you see them moving and interchanging players way more often. Obviously, you guys don't have a player that's as good on the ball as someone like a Bastoni
Hmm.
or even a De Vrij, but like Maguire's okay on the ball. Delit not the best. Maserati is good on the ball, but he's not really like positionally good enough to be a center back, right? So I think it starts from like a bottom up process, and then you kind of look at the midfield. There's a reason why Bruno has been forced to play as an eight because y'all don't really have a player right now that can do a lot of the eight stuff as well as be good defensively, right? Like Ugarte is positionally suspect while not
Hmm.
being great on the ball. Casemiro is okay on the ball when the game's slower, which is why he looks better in the Europa League than in the Prem.
Hmm.
But like his legs are gone, right? So he can't really be a six. Ericsson literally is Iron Man. So and
did,
Yeah, that's true. That's
did he
very
just
true.
say he's Iron Man?
He's
Oh
Iron
my
Man. He's Tony Stark.
stars.
He's Tony
Oh
Stark.
my stars. Not Tony Stark.
Man, like Tony can't even build any sort of form though for this team though. That's tragic. But I feel like the player aspect, and I wanted to say this to Temba before he dropped off. That seems like another one because selling Bruno controversial for most people. Selling Kobe is another one that's controversial. But again, I feel like we need to have these conversations. And maybe I'll make this a show. I'll see what people say. This was just to finish a conversation that was not even started on this channel, by the way, guys. For people don't know.
well,
So
was it started on whose channel, bots or something
on
else?
Bots'
It
channel and
started
crashed
on
out.
bots, and bots, the criminal that he is, just cut the conversation mid conversation, ended the stream.
And it was such a great panel too.
It
He robbed
was.
us.
It
He
was.
robbed us. He robbed
It
us.
was. You had a you have a wide range of opinions on that panel earlier. It's crazy.
Yeah, but shout out to Bots, man. Really, I'm gonna give you an opportunity to give your closing statements, and then we're actually gonna close the show.
Yes. I my listen. I've been asking for patience from this fan base. I mean, I get it. I get people are like you said, Vegeta, they're disappointed. They're hurt. They're whatever. But if we're truly going to do a rebuild and to get back to what Manchester United used to be, we're going to have patience, and we're going to have to go through the struggle of a rebuild in
Mhm.
order to manifest what it is we hope Manchester United can be again. So if you don't have the patience for that, then
It's tough.
you're going to be angry. Your energy is going to be that of just anger all
Mm.
the time, because it it's going to take some time. Whether is it with this coach or this manager or another coach or another manager, it's going to take time. It's not going to happen overnight. It isn't. And if you don't have the patience, then you're in for a very long, arduous journey with this club.
I hear it. SK, maybe your final thoughts. Plug your channel, brother. I see you say subscribe. We've got 125 people over here. Maybe we can get them over to your channel.
Oh, appreciate it. But yeah, no, I mean, similar to what Riri said, like these things take time, and especially like because how many like when was the last time you guys have had like a full set of players to really like look at? Because even though because I think even despite like the losing you guys have done in the prime recently, I honestly just even based off what I've seen, I think you guys have looked better than what you guys were doing a couple months ago. So I think when Amron actually gets like a preseason to work with these dudes, you kind of strengthen in like those critical areas that Amron needs for his tactics to work. I think you guys are going to look significantly better.
I hear you, brother. And I'm guessing SKFC is your channel name, right?
Yeah, I can put the link in the private chat.
For sure, my brother. And I'll put it in the comment section for anybody who watches after the fact. Please subscribe to my brother SKFC. I'm just going to drop in the live chat, but I'll also put it in the comment section after this. But thanks, guys. I appreciate it. And again, we got robbed of such a good conversation with a good panel.
Thank you for trying to continue it, Vegeta.
No, I enjoyed it. It's always nice to listen to people's opinions, and that's what the halftime with Vegeta is about. I want to hear from other people besides myself. I know what I'm thinking. What are other people thinking? That's what I'm concerned about. You feel me?
We're gonna
No,
have to
also,
work on bots. We're gonna have to work on.
We are rushing him next stream for the nonsense he did. Okay, he needs to take.
It's
But
embarrassing. It's a disgrace. That's what it is. A disgrace.
also, there's one last thing. So I need Carrington FC to pull up the Stamford Bridge on Friday. Like I'm serious. Y'all worry about your final, but don't try to do we want to have good momentum before the game. Don't do that.
we need four.
What?
Okay? We need four.
No.
We're not doing this.
And Riri, I know you're and Riri, I know you're a Knicks fan, right?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
I am
With
a
that
New Yorker, but not a Knicks fan.
I was about to say your team, you've already caused my team enough stress in one sport as is. So I don't need your team to do it for me again in another sport.
Wait, you're a Boston fan?
Yes.
Yo, people, it's been fun. We're gonna end it here. My name is Vegeta Sama. This was an impromptu stream, but I enjoyed it nonetheless. Guys, please hit the like
Stay blessed.
button.
Yeah, have a good day.
Subscribe.
Have a good day, bro.
Cheers, guys. Cheers, guys. I'm gonna try to do what Bots hasn't done in months. Hit subscribe, hit comment. Comment, share the video, and let me know, guys. I'm going to leave it in the comment section. Do you want more of this? Let's have honest conversations. We can laugh, it's okay. But I'm not gonna silence anybody. Let me know in the comment section. Have a good evening, people, or have a good day wherever you are in the world.
Have a good evening.
Football can kill you. Will kill you a real death. You will die because of football.